So I wanted to show some of the comments that these EVAC members have been leaving on my videos. This is kind of where it all started. Sergeant Blessington's or Sergeant Dummington is retired in the conversation with Officer Newberry, and these EVAC members all like stormed to my YouTube channel and started leaving mean comments. The first one says he needs rubber room treatment, whatever that means. I don't, a rubber room, like, I don't know what that means. He fell off the short bus. I guess they're trying to say I'm stupid or something. And this guy says, another frauditor with bad health. Lucky for us, he won't be around much longer. You're going to see this guy a lot. This guy is like the main culprit in all this thing. These are all EVAC members, by the way. These are all EVAC members who are leaving these comments. These are all Nick LaRosa's people, and they're just leaving these comments. I don't know why all of a sudden they've graduated from sending letters, calling my phone, so now they need to leave all these mean comments on my YouTube video. But this is just the beginning. Wait until you see the rest. So this is from my international fraud video when I went to the Bronxville police and spoke to the officer there and told them about EVAC's activity of leaving these comments. And look at this, 20 comments. 20 comments they left. Hold on. 20 comments. They're all EVAC members leaving all these hateful comments. This person says, you really are dumb, like they were calling you. Hey, frauditor, these aren't the feelings police. You and Goat Boy better learn to take criticism. It's called freedom of speech. They're acting like I don't have freedom of speech or don't support freedom of speech because I told the police officer they were leaving all these mean comments. Of course I agree with freedom of speech, you idiot. Of course, I support the freedom of speech. Of course, you have the freedom of speech. But this is just taking it way too far. And then, of course, I don't kink shame what you are shoving in your back door. Well, that's on you. You should really take this vid down and look. You look like really weak and pathetic here. They aren't there to protect your feelings from getting hurt. If you can't take comments, get off social media. Of course I can take social media comments and all this type of stuff. They're just leaving these comments because they want me to pay a hospital bill. That why would I pay a hospital bill after I was assaulted, after they lied on me several times, after they call my phone, after they do these hateful things to me, and they want me to pay a bill, and now you see they're leaving comments. Would you pay these people a bill? Would you pay a bill to these people? It's crazy. Here, you really need a mental health evaluation. Please see, I think you need a mental health evaluation. Let me tell you what these EVAC people do. Let me tell you how crazy these people are. If you ride to the hospital with EVAC, these people literally, they smoke and vape in the back of the ambulance. They smoke and vape in the back of the ambulance where there's oxygen tanks around. So I need a mental health evaluation. You people have no self-regard for yourself. And I need a mental health evaluation and you're smoking and vaping in the back of an ambulance with oxygen tanks? Oh boy, no words. I have no words either for what the fuck this is. You need a psych evaluation. You're seriously, I think you're delusional. You're delusional, my friend. You are another sick EVAC member. There were context clues that suggest Nick was off before you even asked he was off. I don't know when Nick works. Do I work for the Bronxville police? I don't know when Nick works. How am I supposed to know when Nick works? Seriously. People can make comments on YouTube because of their First Amendment. It's that thing that frauditors like you are always going on about, except it's not funny when it happens to you. What I don't understand what they mean by a frauditor, or I'm not committing fraud. They're the only ones committing fraud, tax fraud, international fraud. I don't understand. If you don't like it on YouTube, maybe you should find another use for your time, like maybe looking for a job. I think you should find yourself a proper job instead of calling yourself a volunteer when you're getting paid by tax dollars, and you call yourself a volunteer so you can write off on your taxes you're a volunteer. It's called freedom of speech. Yeah, I support the freedom of speech. What a baby. Did you ever hear of the Jerky Boys? Saul Rosenberg. You are like him, a big baby. I don't know who that is. What is that? Another EVAC member you guys turned on? Doesn't this kid have anyone who cares about him? It's obvious that he's developmentally disabled and needs help. I think you're disabled and you need help. You are sick people who you think you're getting away with this, and it's great that we're recording this and this is raw and uncut and people are saying this. You guys are idiots leaving these comments on a public platform. And look at this. They're all liking this. This is like Woodstock for these guys. They're all like flocking to my channel, liking this. This is great evidence to show the FBI, to show Nick. Oh, poor, it looks like a baby emoji. People being nasty to you. Don't like nasty comments on YouTube. Then close your channel, idiot. Let's see the proof. Sick human beings, look in the mirror. What the best part about being paranoid? It's called collections call, you idiot. What a wimp. A collection? No, it's not called the collections call when you have EVAC members calling your phone, prank calling you, sending you letters. You know, I have a recording of Richard Perry sending me a letter saying that I went to a hospital that I've never been to, and I called this number and they're in like Nevada. And when I called them and told them that I don't want Richard Perry calling me anymore, these people like got super scared because I exposed the whole thing. I don't think it's a collections call. So thank you very much. And we have this person. Haha, all these comments are correct. For sure. They're not, you're not the sharpest knife on the block. Wow, really? What's your IQ level? 20, 30, or 40 maybe. You're an unnecessary clown. Get a real job. You should get a real job instead of defrauding the taxpayers of Bronxville, Tuckahoe, Eastchester, and Pelham. Calling him an idiot is an insult to idiots. This would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. I think you're pathetic. I think you're pathetic to do this. This is 20 fucking comments. 20 comments of these people leaving these messages, and I'm glad we're recording this. And this person gave him a thumbs up. You see, they're all liking this too. I want you to pay attention to all these likes, how they're commenting, and people are liking these comments. This is what EVAC does. Someone says cuckoo. I think you're cuckoo. Poor little. Well, first of all, they need to learn how to spell. Poor little. It's supposed to be saying baby. What's the matter? Are people being mean to you? Guess what, boy? You're on YouTube. People can exercise their First Amendment, which I already said I don't have a problem with anyone exercising their rights or their First Amendment or any amendment. They could say whatever they want. To say what they want, and police can't do anything about it. So take your crying ass on, deal with it, or get the hell off YouTube. By the way, he ain't the feelings police. There's no such thing as the feelings police, but you know, this is harassment. When you get phone calls, when you get letters, when you get tied up with rope by a 17-year-old kid, and this kid is now a detective constable. I didn't even know constables could be detectives, but apparently they can. I guess they have ranks in every job. You better stop digging. It can be unhealthy. Hashtag island EMT. So this person here is outright saying they're an EMT. I already know these are all EVAC members. So this person is an island EMT. I wonder who this is. Is this Jack Chapman, the Staten Island EMT? Is this Jack Chapman leaving this comment? Because we already know Jack Chapman calls my phone from Staten Island University Hospital. Or is this Long Island, perhaps? More people in Long Island calling City Island? What island? I would like to know. And here we have this guy. This guy is the main culprit. Yeah, tell Nick to get in touch with me. I'd love to speak to him about your mental health. Hey, you know what you could do. Tell the police to give me a call. I'll tell them about it, idiot. Well, the police are going to be getting in touch with all of you very soon, because what you're doing is international fraud, all sorts of fraud. By the way, idiot, the Cayman Islands is in the Caribbean. Well, this is the thing. This person says they're in the Cayman Islands, and they're a tour guide. I want you to see their channel. So this is this person's channel, Beyond the Horizon. Hey guys, I would like to thank all of my subscribers and all of you to enjoy 2025 with us here at Beyond the Horizon for all your tour and travel guides in the Cayman Islands. So this guy has a company called Beyond the Horizon, which is an EVAC funded company, and I want you to see this. There's not one video of a tour on this guy's channel. There's not one video of him doing a tour of the Cayman Islands on this channel. There's him taking a plane. Seems like Nick Laros is paying him, good money. He's taking flights, probably back to Eastchester. He's showing rainfall. This guy is not doing any tour guides. So this guy's a fraud, an EVAC fraud, who is claiming to be a tour guide. This is probably not even a licensed LLC, and he's conning people, saying he's doing tours in the Cayman Islands, which I've never heard of that place, but supposedly he's conning their government and also conning the taxpayers of the town of Eastchester and Pelham, which is crazy. And here's my latest video. Lieutenant D. Young is a hard man to reach. This person says I'm a loser. I think you're a loser. And this con artist, you still looking for Nick? He wants nothing to do with you. He's married. Stop harassing that man. Hey, did you get that thing out your rear end yet? I heard from a good source is still in there. You're a sick person. You're an absolutely sick human being. You really are. I'm glad we're recording this. I really am. I just wanted to show you all how. So these comments even go back a year ago to when I found moonlighting EMT in Harassing, and this EVAC member says, dude, you just made up a story. No one was hiding in the bushes. The guy was a supervisor, not a chief. The guy from EVAC didn't do anything to you. Nobody tied you up with rope. They put stretcher seat belts on you, not rope. You need to stop making stuff up. And then she says, nobody is hiding your uncle from you. Well, first of all, they did tie me up with rope because it's on a body camera video. Did they realize this was the police Revere and that they have body cameras? They tied me up with rope, Matthew Stein, and several other EMTs. And I'm now curious if this person was a suspect as well in this, who tied me up with the rope, because there are several EVAC members there. And Richard Perry then lied in the run sheet and said that I was unconscious and I assaulted police officers, which how can you be unconscious and assault police officers, which is impossible. You can't be unconscious and assault somebody. So you just made up a whole story. You guys are liars. You guys are sick people who you're commenting on my YouTube channels. This video is from a year ago, and this person had to just leave their nonsense when it's all videoed. And Then I go to Main Street to try to, file a complaint. You guys say you're going to shove the complaint form up my ass. Plane going by. Also, when I go there before, you guys call the cops on me, which is even more crazier. You guys say you're scared of me and all this shit. Which, do you guys realize, this is the part where I'm going to drop the mic and get out of here? Do you guys realize that Michael Kilpatrick is my neighbor? Do you guys realize Michael Kilpatrick is my neighbor? The guy who lied and said that I was running in the street, and I called Nick Loros a day later, and Nick Loros can confirm this conversation. I called Nick Loros' office, and I told him what happened, and there's cameras on that street. Michael Kilpatrick said that I was running on in Tuckahoe, which I was not running in the street. Nick Loros said he would pull the cameras, he would talk to the Tuckahoe police. I never got a letter back from EVAC about that complaint. Never heard back from Nick Loros about that complaint. Michael Kilpatrick is my neighbor. He lives in my town. And ever since I made that complaint with Nick Loros, Michael Kilpatrick, he walks his dog down by the country club. And his dog is not on a leash, which I'm pretty sure is illegal in the state of New York. And his dog runs up to me, and it starts jumping on my leg and shit. And this man just sits there, and when I turn back to look at him, he smiles. He does that on purpose. Michael Kilpatrick is a sick human being who harasses me. That's what he does. He's my neighbor. So for EVAC, with all this shit, they're scared of me. For someone who's so scared of me, I'm in pretty close quarters with Michael Kilpatrick. And I'm actually very fucking scared. It's the opposite. I'm actually very scared of Michael Kilpatrick. I'm very scared of him. I went to the police several times about Michael fucking Kilpatrick. He's a psychopath, but he happens to be my neighbor. I haven't seen him recently, but I try to avoid him. He's a psychopath. So you people, I'm making up a story. They didn't tie me up with rope. You people are, I don't know if you're new EVAC members, if this is the rookie, if these are the college kids that they hire. You people are sick. Fucking sick. But I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to show the evidence of what they do.